What's up, ladies and gents, boys and girls? Your boy is back with the Sports Podcast. I'm your host, and I'm here with my boys, Wazatov, and I got me a new guest, my boy, Son. What's up, fellas? Introduce yourselves.
What's happening?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Son. If you know one thing, he's from Duval County, Florida. So, of course, I mean, even though the thing is, you're a 49ers fan, right?
Yeah, I'm a San Francisco fan, but I live in Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah, so I know you hear that all the time. I mean, but yeah. Anyway, just to get this show kicked off, I mean, yeah. Everybody knows that I am a diehard Steelers fan, and people have been waiting. People have been anticipating what I'm going to say in my reaction. Everybody's like, oh, boy, how is he going to start it? But the thing is, I'm not going to give y'all – everybody's like, well, is he going to come on here and rant and rave, or is he going to be humble? Is he going to be is he going to take the high road and be humble? Now, I mean, I like to be positive, but we're just going to see. I like to be optimistic, but we're just going to see if that carries on throughout the rest of this show. But am I going to, as far as me being pissed off, as far as me, wanting to be petty and rant and rave and be on my Stephen A. Smith type of shit, you're damn right I am. Is this Flip?
Ben.
Oh, Ben, what's going on, Ben? But yeah, as far as me ranting and raving and shit, like, you're damn right I am. And the thing is, I have the exact right to do so. But like I said, you know what? All right, do I want to get this over with right now? Get it out, get it over with. Now, the thing, all right. Now, see, the funny thing is, Ben, you was nowhere to be found. Your ass was nowhere. Your ass was absent without leave when the Pittsburgh Steelers was on an 8-game win streak. You was nowhere to be found. And then all of a sudden, you pop out of nowhere when the Pittsburgh Steelers blow it in the goddamn divisional round.
Hey. Hold on. I have been missing. I was going to call after that Patriots game, though. I had planned on doing that, but
Lord.
But that doesn't mean anything. It's about today. Today I called, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And today, this week.
Oh, he called when the count. He said he stopped doing the count.
Oh my goodness! But all right. Listen, This is how we're gonna break it down. We're gonna go through order with these. Yeah, we're gonna go through order with these games. First off, let's review the. Let's go ahead and review the Eagles and Falcons game. Now, something told me to pick the Eagles. I mean, the thing is, before I made my prediction, I wanted to pick the Eagles first. But something told me, the thing is, I will never go against my better judgment again. But I was like, man, I don't know, man, because I might end up having to change my pick and go with the Falcons because the Falcons, they hungry and they might be riding the momentum wave, and people might be counting them out just because they're away. It's an away game for them, and they're not used to having away games. I mean, especially if they make it this far in the NFC. But we're gonna start with Son first. Like, what was your thoughts on the game?
It was Philly got the win. Like, they believed in their system. You gotta think, we got a shaky offensive coordinator. I don't really personally like to call a goal out on a fourth and goal on the 2-yard line. We got Kevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman that just carried us down the field. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's a system. Like I said, it's all in the system.
But yeah, here's the weird thing about that is it was a mostly defensive game. I expected the game to be a lot more high scoring than that.
Yeah, but you gotta think that's the same Atlanta offense from last year, too.
Yeah.
And I think they went from the high scoring offense to the mediocre right now. They're putting up 17 points a game. But like I said, it's all in that system. Got a new head, they got a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah. And Ben, what's your thoughts on it? Because
My thoughts on it was that it was the Falcons' offense wasn't really that good. Philadelphia's defense kind of stepped up.
Yo, is it Flip that just chimed in?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on, Flip? Yeah, this is the most people we've had on here in a while. I mean, I'm actually good. I'm actually glad that I'm starting to, get some traffic in here. Yeah.
They played good defense, but all of the Atlanta offense, it's like they didn't show up.
I mean, it's not that the Atlanta offense didn't show up. It's not that the Atlanta offense didn't show up. It's just that the Eagles defense did. So you can't really knock them on that, because I think that the worst thing about Atlanta in that game was the running game. The running game didn't get nowhere. The passing game was still on point, though.
I was just shocked that cause, like when they played the Rams on the road, it looked like Stark kind of opened up the playbook a little bit at the end. So I'm surprised they didn't really come out with the explosiveness as they did against the Rams, as they did against the Eagles. I don't know, they got real conservative. Like, I understand, Philly's got a defense, and the Eagles have a defense. It's not like they just give up a shit ton of points. However, Atlanta, I don't know about that play calling. Like, I noticed with Stark, like, he's definitely not as explosive as like a Kyle Shanahan calling plays.
Yeah, he's not.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
He won't quarter the. He's not aggressive. He's not used to none of that. He's not even using the same schemes. Like
no, he's not.
Last year was a lot of Jones and so you going across the middle. A lot of decent ducks and sending the tight end up the field. You see, they went all the way away from all that, and now they're doing a whole lot of zone runs and traps.
But see, the problem with that is that they had to switch it up because they're going up against a defense that they're not used to going up against. So of course they got to try something new because they know that the Eagles have been watching tape. They know that they've been studying them. So they go into the game like, all right, we can't go in here and play in the same way that we play other teams because that's not going to work, especially because they got to the playoffs the same way that they got there this year. So, of course, they got to switch up their scheme a little bit because not only do they not want to go in a away game and use the same strategy, but they don't want to lose and get blown out in the same way.
I don't know. I've been watching the game. We call the same 15 plays out of 9 different formations. He run the same 15 plays out of 9 different formations.
Yeah.
It's the same 15 plays.
Yeah. But Wazatov, what do you think about this? What do you think? What's your overall thoughts about this game?
Yeah, I mean, the Falcons' offense. I mean, it's just with Sarkisian, like everyone's been commenting about. It's just there were some plays that looked kind of so stupid. They did like this weird shovel pass in the red zone that went like nowhere, that almost was turned over and everything like that. And then like you had first and goal, right? First and goal. And you were pretty much thinking, all right, Atlanta's going to score here. They're gonna take the lead. It's going to be done. And they run like the sequence of plays that they ran. I think they did a jump ball maybe on the first play. I can't remember if it was a jump ball. And then oh god, then was it the shovel play? I think it was.
Yeah, it was a shovel pass. There was a shovel pass.
I forget the third play, but that fourth and goal that was like a rollout and Julio like slipped up and fell down.
They should have called pass interference. I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my God, Julio missed the pass. He dropped the pass. He never drops a pass. But they should have called pass interference.
I don't think you're gonna do that.
In a critical game like that,
it's too late in the game to make that call.
No, it's not, because they've been doing it all year. It's not too late. They've been doing that shit all year long.
Yeah, but the thing about that pass, if you watch that play, he has an open tight end the whole play, and he's so focused on throwing Julio the ball, he doesn't even look at the tight end. The tight end's open the whole play.
But yeah, Julio. But the thing is, you got to go to your star player because Julio is used to getting double teamed and making catches anyway. So if you're 10, 15 yards out from a touchdown, so why not?
Why make it's just like in basketball. Why make a dumbass pass when you can make it easy and simple? Make the easy pass. The tight end was too front of him.
Yeah, I guess he could have. Yeah.
And it's a 50-50 jump ball. It went either way. You know what I'm saying? And they way it didn't turn out good. So back to the drawing board.
And not only that, but then they get drawn off. They get drawn off sides You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the Eagles got the ball back, and you're like, all right, you know, maybe they can try to get a safety because they're pinned them at the 2. And if they get rush, if they get a good rush, they can maybe try to push them back. Maybe they get a safety, but that completely gets like thrown out the window when they get drawn off sides, and they give them another 5 yards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got to base that on emotions, like, you know, pretty much you had lost the game, and, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand they shouldn't have been drawn off sides. But,
Yeah.
I mean,
But shoot, props to the defense for the Eagles, especially the secondary, because the secondary showed up more than anything. I don't know what the hell was up with their linebackers missing tackles in the first half. Well, I mean, I think they might have got like 1 or 2 sacks the whole game, but like the whole first half, they was missing tackles. The secondary was the one that was making most of the plays. They were the one either deflecting passes or stopping the run. So, yeah, it's good. But the thing is, I saw that, and that's something that I liked, is that, you know, they brought the secondaries in to jam up the run. I mean, that's something that you usually don't see secondaries do. But, I mean, that was the right play call they made on their part. But as far as my overall opinion, before we move on to the next game, which is the Titans and Titans and Patriots, which is pretty much going to be short, sweet, and to the point. I'm going to go ahead and say it was good Eagles instead of bad Falcons. That's just my thought. But, yeah, Son, your final thoughts. Ben, your final thoughts. And then Wallace, Tom, your final thoughts. Then we'll move on.
Yeah, I just want to talk about Pittsburgh.
Yeah. We'll get to it. We're going to get to that. We'll get to it.
That's the only thing I'm here for.
I'm going to leave it at it. Rise up. Don't talk to me about the Falcons till August.
Yeah, but yeah, Wazatov, good Eagles or bad Falcons? Your opinion.
Good Eagles. The Falcons have been kind of playing like this granted they won the week before, but the Falcons have been really inconsistent for most of the season, that offense. So it's just that's the team that's kind of generally shown up this year. So it's not as surprising, I guess. But the Eagles defense, man, they really stepped up these last couple of weeks. It's definitely a far cry from what we thought that secondary looked like at the beginning of the season. It looked a lot worse, but the last couple of weeks they've really stepped up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now,
I actually picked Philly because I knew they were into it.
Yeah, like I said, at first I wanted to pick Philly, but like I said, I ended up changing my pick just based off momentum. But oh well, it is what it is. They're going to the AFC Championship.
I thought they were gonna be mad at me, but I picked Philly.
Wow.
Because I knew they were into it. I'm a Falcons fan, but I know logic. Come on down there in Philly, it's freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I called it for us.
Yeah, they play in the dome. Yeah.
We're playing the dome. I gotta go with numbers. We don't play well outside, especially this time of year.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're not used to that. Yeah.
That's how everything we get moved out. It's somewhere cold. I think Green Bay sent us home. It was fucking 33.
Yeah.
So Philly sent us home before that. It was like 27 degrees. So you gotta think. Well, if we go to the Super Bowl, it came to the dome.
Yeah. And like I said, just think that if it wasn't y'all, it would have been the Seattle. And Seattle probably might have had a better shot at it, at Philly than y'all did. But I mean, like I said, it is what it is. The Eagles are going to the NFC Championship now. But anyway, next game. Like I said, we're not gonna spend too much time on this one. We're just gonna be short, sweet, and to the point. But the Patriots and Titans game. Now, I made a bold-ass prediction by saying whoever scored the first touchdown of this game was going to win, and boy, was I wrong, because the Titans ended up scoring the first touchdown. But the thing is, did the Titans run out of gas, or did the Patriots just pull a Patriots, and then just as soon as they grab a lead, they hold on to it and don't let go like a pit bull on your ass. But I'm gonna let Ben. I'm gonna let you go first on this. What is your thoughts on that game? Just short, sweet, and to the point.
Thoughts on it? I think Mariota is that kind of guy that can give the Patriots problems. It's just that they don't really have a whole lot of weapons. That's really what it is. And New England's whole lot better than it was to start off the season. That's just what I think of it. I mean, Mariota's a guy that scares you. I mean, he can throw, he can kill you with his feet. However, it's the cast. He doesn't really have that great of a cast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really him having. It's just like the Chiefs game. I mean, he had to do everything to get them to win with that. So against New England, you know, I'm sure Belichick and Patricia had the game plan to kind of, you know, lock him down. They didn't really have to worry about the other cast. I mean, other than Corey Clark, I think he's a breakout player.
Yeah.
I think number 84, I think he's going to be really good. They got a Delaney Walker, Rashard Matthews, if he's still there. They got a little bit of something, but it's just not enough to beat the Patriots. Patriots are just good on defense. Obviously, you know, Brady is really good on offense. They have the whole cast. Tennessee only has like part of it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and say this before I let Son talk. But I mean, like I said, I'm not really particularly a Patriots fan because they've been a thorn in the Pittsburgh Steelers' side for the past 10 years. But I'll say, I mean, Belichick, he is the number one. He's the number one head coach that is good at one thing: making adjustments. Nobody right now in the league is better at making adjustments, especially after half, better than Bill Belichick. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he just got a good eye or like if he just got the gift. I mean, but yeah, I mean, Son, what's your thoughts on this? You know, on the Titans Patriots game, right quick.
They believe they are. Man, I don't think that things don't go well out like that. This is more of a, just like he said, that doesn't have those passion. He doesn't have a running back to relieve that. He don't got constant feelings that he knows, like, hey, I'll put the ball in there. It's guaranteed that he's going to go get it. Who does he have to target like that?
Yeah, exactly. He pretty much had to do it all on his own.
Yeah, and the Patriots, that was great system. It doesn't matter who they go get. As long as they believe in that system, your defense is great. The way that they swap players in and out. Just like they went and got Harrison. They had him for a week. He's produced.
Yeah.
The system is great. I can't take nothing from that system. Look at that offense. Look at how they swap those players in and out. It don't matter who they put in that slot or a running back. They're going to put up numbers and they're going to produce.
Yeah.
They believe in that system.
And you're right. Gronk right now is the X factor, and that's something that the Jaguars are going to have to look out for. Because do you put Jalen Ramsey on Gronk? Jalen Ramsey's 5'11", 190. Gronk is 6'5", 250. Like what? Like that's an interesting matchup. But the thing is, the only thing that's going to play a part in that is because Jalen Ramsey is so fast. Or do they put AJ Bouye on Gronk? I'm confused. I'm kind of confused on what they do in this situation. Or do they play bump and run and try to jam him up at the line and then try to try to jam him up and just so he can he gets confused on his route. The Jags have an interesting interesting task ahead of them when it comes to trying to neutralize Gronk. But I'll get more to that later. But Walter Todd, what's your thoughts on the Pats Titans game?
I want to hear Flip's thoughts because we talked last week and I was laughing at Flip's prediction of the Titans winning this game. This game actually was the only one of the four that I paid the least attention to in terms of watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I had the dinner plans scheduled around that game because I knew that game was going to be a rout. The other three games I was curious about, but that game I knew for sure if I had to bet money on, I knew for sure that the Patriots were going to close that out and that was going to be a blowout. Because, like I said, the Patriots, they thrive when there's shit going around them, like controversy, whether it's, like I said, whether it's like the Flakegate, Spygate, whether there's people talking about the team, all this chaos that's going on in the organization because of the Belichick wanting to get rid of Brady and keep Garoppolo, etc. And I just I knew the Patriots were not going to come out flat. They wanted to basically kind of shut everybody up and show that they're still the number one franchise in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they did. So I saw a little bit of the game. I saw early on the Titans touchdown. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, maybe they're gonna actually show up. But then Brady and them, they put the clamps on them, and then the Titans basically kind of got in that deer in the headlights look, and they just basically turned into that, we're just glad we're here team. Just glad we made it to the second round of the playoffs, but we're not gonna really do much after this. So
yeah.
I want to hear what Flip has to say.
Yeah. Flip, you're on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, and I know no one really said it, but I feel like those two penalties kind of killed the Titans' momentum.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna say that's what cost them the game, because it was obvious Dick LeBeau had no answer for that offense. But you could tell that their whole game plan was basically, let's play smash mouth football, let's run this ball, get Mariota the ball on third down, see if he can create something. And they took like 9 minutes the first quarter. They were definitely trying to keep Brady up the field. So
they tried to milk the clock, which is smart.
That's how you beat.
Yeah, you milk the clock.
Yeah, exactly. And you could tell that when they got that ball back, it was 7-7, that they had that momentum going. And when Decker got called for that offensive pass interference, they killed
which was
that
BS.
down, and then they got that stop. And then you're like, okay, they get the ball back, they can get back to that running with Derrick Henry, see if he can get more than 3 yards. That's definitely what they needed. They needed him to get like 4 or 5 yards a run. So when it was like a punt, and they like called some real ticky-tack neutral zone call, it was like that was kind of like the exciting point where you could tell that momentum kind of just like faded away from the Titans and was going straight to the Patriots. They kind of rode that all the way to the rest of the game.
But y'all know damn well that you can't go into Foxborough. You can't go into Foxborough and make no kind of mistakes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't make any mistakes. You have probably 2 questionable plays like that, and next thing you know, Brady's out here passing on. You can't stop Gronk. You can't stop Deion Lewis. Deion Lewis was destroying him.
Oh yeah. Even Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks showed up.
Yeah, exactly. So when this happens, you're starting to like lose faith in your team pretty much. And Mariota's not really a playoff player like that. I think this is like his first playoff game. You guys were naming names of people who showed up. That's what I'm saying. They got so much of a test up there. It doesn't matter who's in the system. They're going to kill their
We're saying, but when people show up, it makes their whole system look better. So I mean, let's just say if Gronk is having a bad night, he's got Brandon Cooks and he got a couple of running backs who can make up for him. But of course, we all know Brady is Brady. He's gonna make it happen regardless. So I mean, you're right. So regardless of who shows up, with Brady behind the wheel or Belichick calling the plays, yeah. So I mean, of course.
I just because I've seen games with top 30 plus like shit and it's still in there.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna say everything's great too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can tell that it could have been a closer game. I could see the Titans putting up like
27 points. Yeah.
On that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 20, 24 points. Like they could have kept the momentum going. I could see them really like running that clock and trying to like keep it away from Brady, but they just lost momentum and Brady just capitalized on it. That's basically they find that big extra whole offense to take off of Mariota. That's the best is what they don't see it. But I think they expected it to be. I think they expected it to be Derrick Henry.
Oh yeah.
You could tell they were running it. Like I mean, he just needed to break one. I feel like he just needed to break one, kind of scare them into playing that box, and Mariota could have just kind of opened the way for like Corey Davis and Rashard Matthews and Decker.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't turn out that way. Yeah.
I was thinking like with Mariota, he's that dangerous, like a Deshaun Watson. I'm saying he could have been that kind of field.
Oh
like,
yeah.
35, 30, something like that. Yeah, it's just
It could have been a shootout,
but it just never got to that point.
But y'all got to remember, he's got no playoff experience. He ain't never been there before. So yes, inexperience is a factor.
I put Malarkey, man.
Mike Malarkey got his ass fired. He don't even got a job there anymore.
Exactly. Because he has no faith in Mariota. He wants to play that smash mouth, run the ball, only for 3 downs and keep the ball.
But this is not the 2003 Titans. You can't do that. It's not the same shit. And you're going up against
exactly.
You have
to trust your quarterback.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much just my thoughts on that game. And now the main event. Well, the co-main event. Pretty much what we all been waiting for. The recap of the Steelers-Jaguars game. Okay, I've had some time. All right, listen. I've had some time to cool off. I've had some time to get myself together. And I've had my time to think about it right quick. All right, yes. All right, listen. Now listen. Round of applause for the Jaguars. Well done. You came into there and you kicked our asses. But you know what? That game was, I mean, me being a Steelers fan, that was torturous to watch. You know what that game was like watching? That game was, I'm going to tell you what this game was like for me. This game was about as painful as being suspended from a wall, handcuffed, and being repeatedly kicked in the testicles. It's slow, it's painful, it's torturous, and there's nothing that you can do but watch. That's how painful this goddamn game was for me. It's like getting kicked in the nuts with steel-toed boots. That's how bad this shit was for me. All right, and the thing is, what the main thing is, it's not the talent. It was the horrible decisions that was made on the offensive side of the ball. For instance, who the hell kicks an onside kick when you got 2 timeouts left and it's 2 minutes and 16 seconds left? Do y'all not have that much faith in the Steelers defense? The linebackers were doing okay. They even managed to get to Blake Bortles, once or twice? They made Blake Bortles look good, especially the secondary. I don't know what the hell is wrong with the secondary. They must have left their heads back in Cleveland or something like that. But it's ridiculous. I don't understand what the hell the problem was with them. I mean, and let's not start on, all right, I also paid attention to this too. They went, all right, the Steelers had it on 4th and short 5 times in the game. They were 2 for 5 on 4th and short. But see, here's the thing. Every time they passed the ball on 4th and short, they got a touchdown. Every time they ran the ball, they ended up getting stuffed. They ended up getting stuffed or getting lost for yardage. You don't do that against the fastest defense in the league right now. But on the plus side, now even though in defeat, did they learn something? Because the Pittsburgh Steelers managed to put up 42 points on what is billed as the best defense in the NFL right now. So did the Steelers kind of expose them? Did they kind of? I mean, but the thing is, it doesn't matter because they still found a way to carve them up. Like Le'Veon Bell, he's gonna make a play. Martavis Bryant, he's gonna make a play. Antonio Brown, you know damn well he's gonna make a play. Antonio Brown got held by AJ Bouye and made the catch any damn way. Martavis Bryant got held by I believe he was either held by either AJ Bouye or Jalen Ramsey. There were some holding calls that they missed. But the thing is, I'm not going to excuse that. I'm going to excuse all the penalties that were missed because I've been saying this since the beginning of the season. You can't rely on the referees to win a game for you. It's got to be the players. You can't rely on the refs to save you because it's not going to work out, especially in big game situations like this. You can't rely on them. And Juju Smith-Schuster, I believe he only made like 1 play like this game. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster was quiet. Eli Rogers, he made a couple of plays before he got carted off. And I'm going to tell you one thing. Leonard Fournette was our kryptonite that night. Leonard Fournette, I mean, like, do you notice that the tide of the game shifted as soon as Leonard Fournette went out? As soon as he went out with that ankle injury and he was out for the rest of the second quarter, that's when the Steelers started to get their momentum back. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. It's going to be a comeback because now one of the biggest players is gone. The thing is, there's the old saying that goes, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And the thing is, it's painful to lose. I mean, like, losing 30-9 is painful, but it's painful. It's even more painful to lose in the same fashion that you lost last time with the run being jet. I mean, the thing is, you go up the hole. You don't cut to the outside. You don't go for pitch runs because guess what? That secondary and those linebackers and that D-line is fast. You go up the middle. And another thing, on 4th and 1, guess what? Big Ben is 6'5", 240 pounds. They don't need to go to no outside run. All Big Ben has to do is literally stretch the ball forward and lean forward, and he's got a first down. They have not had a quarterback sneak. Exactly. They have not had a quarterback sneak since 2014. They are 18 for 19 in quarterback sneaks. And ever since Big Ben didn't get on that quarterback sneak, They have not played that since 2014, I believe it was. But there's a whole bunch of things. Like, I believe bad coaching was the main thing that lost for this game. Number one was bad coaching, and number two was missed opportunity on defense. Other than that, it was still an exciting game to watch. But that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Son, what is your thoughts on this game?
It was a great game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't take nothing from this game. I've been telling folks last week. I was going to say that I thought one of the games where I want to do a week. The game didn't really mean nothing. The rest of the show up and they upset. Some of them upset. I was like, yo, they're going to be something to watch. But this year, the goals, he stepped it up. And they doing that thing. And that defense, you can't take it from that defense. You guys are always done.
Right.
Like, I think of, like, all, like, after, like, 24, they're ready to be a 4 years old. They're very young, and they're going to be there for a while.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But still, I think that they kind of wanted to, they did so bad that they got sidetracked.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to say they beat y'all too, right?
Yeah, a lot of people saying the Steelers beat themselves, but like I said, I ain't gonna make excuses. Yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna make no excuses. Like, we just got outplayed, especially in the first half.
Because they led up to it was the week, and them boys came out there to play, and they
yeah. All right, yeah, Ben, what's your thoughts on the game overall? Because I know you got a whole bunch to say, so go ahead and let it out. What are you gonna say that I haven't already said?
Yeah, you know what, I'm like you and the rest of Steeler Nation. I underestimated the Jaguars, but I didn't even think they were really that good. I know they beat you all or whatnot earlier in the season, 30-9. I didn't really know what to make of it because I was like, Pittsburgh's got, maybe they just had like one of those New England versus Miami, or they just didn't show up that week. I was like, just throw away the tape or whatever. Next time they play them,
right.
They'll show up. And I was like, I was watching the game. I wasn't really paying any attention until like it was like 14-0 Jacksonville, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, why is Jacksonville like kicking Pittsburgh's ass?
Because they were doing the same thing they did the last time. That's why.
It wasn't even anything like that Bortles did or anything. I mean, he didn't turn the ball over. I don't think
he almost did. He fumbled once, and then he recovered his own fumble.
He didn't lose the game for him. He didn't lose the game for him. The defense stepped up. They got some turnovers, and Pittsburgh just didn't execute, man. And partly because they never took Jacksonville serious until it was pretty much near the end.
Yeah, because they're too busy looking ahead to New England.
We got to start this together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got the quarterback in Jacksonville. He doesn't manage the ball well. He's mature. He doesn't have the big turnovers he had last year.
Yeah. He didn't lose the game for him. It's still Blake Bortles. Like, I still don't believe in him.
Yeah.
But he just did enough, and like Leonard Fournette had a really good game. Like he was, oh my God, like Pittsburgh just didn't have an answer for him until he messed up his ankle,
Yeah.
And like then it was like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? But TJ Yeldon, he had a pretty decent game too, filling it in. But that's just what I really think about it. To be honest, I think Pittsburgh just never took them boys seriously, even when they got their ass kicked the first time.
Yeah.
Jacksonville had that mentality where like, yo, we beat this team before, we can beat them again, no problem.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh never took those guys seriously.
Yeah.
And I was just stunned the way it was. I'm just totally stunned they went up there and dominated it.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is, because we can all agree, regardless of the outcome, not to use a played out expression here, but were you not entertained? That was pretty much the most entertaining game on the play, and the highest scoring too. 87 points between the two teams. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
You were saying something about how Pittsburgh may have learned something. Like, I think some of those points, those are just jump points. That was like Jacksonville just playing too much prevent. And, some of it was just bad coverage, too. It's not all like, there's some of it was really good throws by Big Ben, and some of it was just Jacksonville just kind of sticking around at the end. But
yeah,
they did enough. They did enough to just stay ahead. I mean, no matter what, Pittsburgh was always playing catch up the entire game. It's like, yeah, Pittsburgh scored a touchdown, but then they gave up another touchdown. It's like they were climbing the uphill battle the entire time for Pittsburgh. So, I mean, and granted, and usually with the talent they got, they're capable of overcoming that challenge. But just on that.
Because you're right. Because Pittsburgh was not going away. They weren't going to go away. They did not lay down. That's what made the game exciting to watch. So yeah. But yeah.
Steelers haters me. I was hoping they wouldn't lay down. I wanted it, man. I wanted it to be 49-7. That's how bad I wanted it.
Lord have mercy.
But
yeah.
But, I don't know where Pittsburgh goes from there, man. I mean, they got the talent.
But talent doesn't beat hunger.
They're not. They don't think they be focused, man. They got their heads like in all sorts of bullshit.
Because I mean, the thing is, it started from the beginning of the season. From Le'Veon Bell holding on to his contract, from Martavis Bryant saying that he wanted to trade if he couldn't get more playing time because of Juju, stealing his spotlight. The Ryan Shazier injury. Big Ben doesn't know if he's retiring or not. Le'Veon Bell wants to get the contract to go. Everything, yeah.
It's like as the world turns. The Steelers are just a big ass soap opera.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know what's going on with this.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know why people are saying, I don't know why Mike Tomlin is being put away. The thing is, he deserves some of the blame, but I don't know why people are saying like they should go cold turkey and just get rid of Mike Tomlin, because I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but for the past 10 years or the past 12 years that Mike Tomlin's been the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, guess what? He has only had an under 500 record once, and that is better than 90% of the NFL. His worst record was 7-9. His best record was what? 14-2, 13-3, I believe it was. So yeah, he's only.
Well, I'm not a winning coach because I want to say his winning percentage is better than Bill Cowher.
Yeah, I think it is better than Bill Cowher, but a lot of people say, well, he didn't build that team. I mean, the thing is, everybody's like they're trying to make excuses and say, well, because I was watching Colin Cowherd too. Colin Cowherd said, well, Mike Tomlin pretty much had that team inherited to him. He had the whole team handed down to him when they were in their prime. He had just pretty much got them off of a Super Bowl win. He got the Troy Polamalu in his prime. He got the Ben Roethlisberger in his prime. And, of course, the Steelers, they're always trying to get a top-notch receiving core. But the thing with the Steelers is, yeah.
Polamalu on defense. Without Polamalu on defense. You got to think.
Another thing that hurt them this Sunday was not having Ryan
Shazier, yeah.
He wasn't on the field neither. He's like a field general out there. So I think that kind of hurt too.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing with the Pittsburgh Steelers is that they're trying to change up their whole play style. They were criticized for this because for years they've been known as the steel curtain. They've been known for their hard-hitting defense. But now they just recently became the killer bees. They try to go from being a mostly defensive team to a mostly offensive team. And the thing is, that's a huge adjustment for somebody who has an identity like the Steelers. I mean, because look at somebody, because the thing is, like, the reason why is because the league is changing. And the league is changing. I mean, the reason why is because of all these penalties and flags being thrown and, defenders not being able to play the way they used to play it. All right, because let me give you guys an example. Somebody like Jack Lambert would be considered a dirty player by today's standards. Somebody like, let's see, give me a hard-hitting defensive player. Somebody like Lawrence Taylor. Somebody like Lawrence Taylor by today's standards could be considered a dirty player. Exactly. Yeah, Sean Taylor, he'd be considered a dirty player by today's standard by how hard he hit, because the thing is, a lot of people, like a lot of the most hard-hitting guys are headhunters. They go for the head. They lead with the helmet. They lead with the shoulder pads. So, yeah, the defenders don't even know how to play anymore. So that's why the game is being more catered to the offense than the defense.
Well, it kind of goes both ways, really. I mean, you get penalized with a player like that, but you can also, like, install some fear, you know what I'm saying? Instead of, receiver or quarterback trying to throw that way, if you have a guy like that, he's going to think twice about doing that. So, I mean, it goes both ways. I mean, you have a guy that's smart.
Yeah, what were you saying, son?
Play physical, but also smart.
I think the president thought it could have been called, but it wasn't called because the guy thought he was making the move harder. And it does take away from the game. But like I said, the Pittsburgh Steelers gotta change the structure what they got going on. You gotta adapt to the game.
Right.
You gotta find a system that works for you. And I think it's fair that New England has figured it out. They got the formula. It's balanced on both sides of the ball. It's not like one side always just offense putting up points. If the defense going to lock it down, put up enough points to win. If the offense can't put up enough points, the defense going to lock it down enough to where you're not going to outscore that.
But that's the thing, is that the game turns into a shootout when it's two mostly offensive teams going up against each other. The defense just scoring back to back to back to back. That's what the Super Bowl last year was like.
I mean,
the Super Bowl last year was like it ran out of gas.
Yeah.
That's what that was like. The Falcons had New England all the first quarter, and they ran together. You can see the whole fourth quarter, they kept them up on the field. They were gas.
Yeah.
You can score somebody's gas.
Right. All right, Molotov and Flip, what is your thoughts on this Steelers and the Steelers-Jags game? What the thing is, what can you say that hasn't already been said here? Molotov, you first.
I mean, the only thing I want to comment on was, like, I mentioned, last week I talked about Leonard Fournette and that being a key factor for me. And he showed up, he had a really big game. And he was a main cog for the reason why the Jags are playing the NFC title game and the Steelers aren't. And even though the defense on paper gave up, like, that many points to the Steelers, that game was over, like, by the end of the first quarter. The rest of the game was essentially like a garbage time. Essentially, it felt like to me, anyways. Even at the half, it's 28 to 7, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna harp on the Jags for just kind of like basically, the Steelers having to basically do a pass-heavy offense all second half, play catch up. So I'm not going to harp too much on that defense. For that, I still, going into the predictions, I like the Jags defense, and they made big plays, and they're confident. They're confident, man. They're extremely confident. Tom Coughlin that got that kind of organization just running right. And yeah, I just didn't see it for the Steelers.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got to say on it. Go ahead, Flip.
Yeah, Flip, what do you got to say?
Oh, it's pretty obvious, man. The Steelers should have won that game. They just gave too many points away, and they left too many points on the board. Look at it. Ben threw a kick in the red zone.
Fumble.
Took a stupid fourth. Yeah, the fumble at the end, too. That was another one where he sacked fumbled. The two stupid 4th and 1 plays. I think they're in like the 40-yard line of the Jaguar territory. So
Yeah, exactly. And you're right about that, because had they not tried to go for the 4th down conversion, think about it. The end score was 42-45. If those two busted 4th down plays were field goals, then the Steelers would have won.
Yeah, and that pick. Like there were so many points left on the board. It was kind of I don't know. Like the first
Hey, how about Steelers going for it? I'm not for Steelers. The Jaguars going for it on 4th and goal on that first drive on the road.
They had balls. They had no fear.
They had to get ahead.
Yeah.
They did.
Exactly. You gotta run it down their throats. You gotta show no fear. You gotta show them that you're not scared. So yeah, they had to do that.
I don't think they're gonna be afraid of Foxborough.
Yeah, like I said, we'll see though. We'll see. Now,
No fear.
yeah. Now the final game. I read this post on Twitter when somebody said the Steelers, and I quote, Pittsburgh Steelers. Wow, nobody could blow a potential comeback worse than us. The Saints said, "Hold my damn beer. Watch this." So, I mean, now we're gonna go into that. Now, can you Diggs it? Stephon Diggs is the hero, and Marcus Williams is, the GOAT in the bad way. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Now, the thing is, Marcus Williams, I think the reason why he whipped that tackle is because he was trying not to get a penalty. Think about it. Stephon Diggs was in midair, and when you got a secondary running at 4.2 speed at you, guess what? You're gonna hit somebody. The thing is, his back was turned and his legs were in midair. Guess what? That's chop blocking. And not only is that chop blocking, he also would have risked a pass interference penalty. So guess what? That would have been a 15 to 30-yard penalty, and that would have been in more than enough comfortable field goal range. But the thing is,
but that's sort of that's a cop out too. You give up.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
You don't want to
No.
take the penalty. Take the penalty, or are you giving up the point?
No, I would rather not lose a game off of a penalty, because then you could use the penalty as a scapegoat. But yeah, son, what were you saying?
He over-pursued the rock. For real. Like, if you watch the tape, he read the right rock. And at the moment, he was just his shoulder, and he would have cut his body up.
But it don't matter because he was running out of bounds. If he would have hit him, he would not have stayed in bounds. All right, here's what you do. But if you're Marcus Williams, what do? Do you risk pass interference? Do you hit him out of bounds? Because if he was out of bounds, if he would have hit him out of bounds, that would probably be like a 52-yard field goal. He probably would have made that anyway. I mean, yeah, it was a rookie mistake. It was a rookie mistake. But I mean, like I said, what do? Do you risk a penalty or do you whip a tackle?
No, you let Diggs catch it and then you tackle him. You don't try to lead in and try to hit him in midair. You wait for him to hit the ground and tackle. You run up.
Like, come on now. Even if you've been in that situation.
Right.
Who really expects you to give up that bitch play? Like even in the back of your mind, you like, you're never going to make years this shit happen. You never.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You take confidence, but you're never going to make it until it happens to you.
Yeah, Ben, your thoughts on it? Your thoughts on the choke of the century? Well, not the choke of the century, but the choke of the year so far?
Well, I was surprised. Well, at first I was kind of surprised that the Vikings were dominating. I mean, I picked the Vikings to win. I was surprised they were dominating.
I picked the Saints.
That they did the first half. But I knew,
Yeah, they shut them out.
I knew it was going to be. I knew it was going to be kind of close at the end. I knew it wasn't going to be. I mean, it was just Drew Brees. I mean, that's just what Drew Brees does.
Yeah.
But at the end, I mean, it seemed like the Saints had the right. I mean, like coverage-wise. I mean, not that last play, but the one before, like they were covering the sidelines. I mean, they had, so like if someone caught the ball or whatever, they weren't going to be able to get out of bounds because they already had like corners covering that to prevent that. And then the Vikings, they're just one time where it's like this game's just about over. Like there's just no way in hell they're gonna actually like pull this shit off. You know, it's like it's 15 and he can't. You know, he's not. He's not really known for throwing. You know, like you know, they kind of blew the game against the Saints. But then like that last play, I think. I don't know if it was I think it was just bad execution by Marcus Williams, to be honest. You know, I think what the guy said about just letting Dick catch the ball on his half, they could have had all their guys back like 20 or so yards, let them throw whatever in the middle or whatever, and then just tackle them. But instead, he went up and he got himself in that situation where he didn't want to, cause a penalty, which I understand, to get him in field goal range. However, he put himself in that position where he gave up the game-winning play. You know, so like, why would you even really put yourself in that position anyway? So, and like now, you know, I mean, that's what he's always going to be remembered for is that play. You know, so I know he's taking a whole lot of shit for him. He's going to take it for a while.
Oh yeah, they're lighting him up on social media. They lighting his ass up on Twitter, even right now as we speak.
I feel it's so young growing. They're taking my.
Yeah, they are lighting his ass up. All these memes, like that. You remember that? The funniest meme I seen of Marcus Williams was him missing the tackle, but he's getting the Stone Cold Stunner from Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I saw one. I forgot what it was. I didn't really get a good look at it, but it showed like Prince coming out and prevent him from making the tackle or something like that. I thought about it. I was like, Prince probably did have something to do with this shit.
Yeah, the ghost of Prince. I saw that. Yeah. But yeah, Walter, what are your thoughts on this game, on the hero and the GOAT? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think Keenum and Diggs obviously were fantastic. And it kind of unfortunate because I watching that game after Breeze led that drive, I knew when Minnesota kicked that field goal, I knew there was like way too much time. I was like, Breeze has enough time, and the way the defense played in the last 5 minutes of the game was completely different as opposed to the rest of the game, because they basically kind of like tensed up. They got into like that prevent defense where both quarterbacks could kind of carve it up a little bit. And I think Keenum was definitely. I mean, Breeze for sure was just carving up that team.
Yeah.
And part of that defense, the second half, he was phenomenal. And it sucks because I think we were robbed of a chance to see him maybe get to the Super Bowl again and maybe potentially face Brady. But
yeah, because he's 39 years old. He just turned 39 yesterday. I believe it. Because think about it. Drew Brees has been in the league for 12 years and has had no major injuries. He's one of the few quarterbacks that hasn't had any major injuries. No ACL tears, broken bones, none. He's had a few minor injuries here and there, but he hasn't been out for a season for, in his entire career.
Yeah, he just had that.
But at the same time, 40 is 40.
Yeah, that's true. But Flip, what are your thoughts on this?
What about?
Other than Brady, but as you see, Brett Favre, the following year when he turned 41, you saw it happen to Brett Favre. So.
Yeah, but Brett Favre is battle-worn. Brett Favre is battle-tested. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Brett Favre.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like I said, Flip, your thoughts on this game before we get in our AFC, NFC Championship predictions?
It was a really good game, and I feel like it was closer than I expected for sure, because I kind of expected this Giants offense to kind of pull away and kind of make it less spectacular than it was in the final quarter, but it should have been a Saints win, 100%. Like we were talking about earlier, Marcus Williams, I think he got a little too excited. I feel like he shouldn't have went for that tackle. He should have waited for Diggs to come down with the ball and then tackle him. But but you could see that he kind of missed the tackle and took his other
teammate out, yeah.
Play or safety. Yeah, and that just cost him the game. So I mean, he'll live with it. He's gonna be fine. But yeah, I mean, overall the game was fine. I feel like Breeze did his job, and I think the Saints have a crazy team on their hands. They'll probably be back in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'll say they'll be back in the Super Bowl maybe in the next 2 years.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the clock is ticking on Drew Brees, but we will see. All right, now for our predictions of the NFC and AFC Championship. Let's do the AFC first. We got the reigning and defending Super Bowl champs, the New England Patriots, going up against the top defense in the league right now, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this actually is a matchup that a lot of people have been wanting to see and a lot of people have been waiting for. You got the best high-power offense versus one of the most hard-hitting explosive defense that you've seen in a while. But the thing is, this is not the Patriots' first rodeo. They've been here a dozen times in years. But this atmosphere is new to the Jaguars because they haven't been here before. And like I said, they had a complete turnaround from last year. Now, everybody's saying that they don't trust in Blake Bortles. The thing is, when it comes time to it, is he going to rise to the occasion or is he going to fall off? Now, the thing is, can the Jags rely on the defense to put them in better position? Because, with the turnovers and with the sacks, the Jags defense have been putting Blake Bortles in great positions to make good plays. When you knock somebody 15 yards back with a sack, when you drop offense back 10 or 15 yards and put them in better position, of course it's going to make Blake Bortles look good. But it's pretty much going to be him to make or break this game because we already know what terrific Tom can do. Tom Brady is Tom Brady. We already know that. And the thing is, like I said, is the defense on the flip side, is the defense for the Jags suspect because the Steelers put up 42 points on them, and on a good day, the Steelers defense is just as good, if not better, than the Patriots offense is. But if I had to pick somebody, I'm gonna go ahead and pick. I'm gonna go ahead and play it safe and pick the Patriots. I'm gonna go ahead and say 31-24. But Flip, who you got?
It's pretty obvious that the Jags are running on like a high right now, and I would say that they're probably going to come back down this next week against the Patriots, but I feel like that defense is going to make noise. I don't trust Blake Bortles still. It's going to come down to, can the defense pressure Brady? I feel like Calais Campbell and I don't know who's on the opposite side of it, but they could definitely cause some problems for Brady in that pocket.
Yeah.
Telvin Smith can definitely direct the run. I know that for sure. Lambie and Bouye on the outside of there are nice. I feel the defense could stop Brady for like maybe 2 quarters before they kind of get that momentum back. So it's up to Leonard Fournette, really. I feel like he's fighting back there as always. He has to kind of get them ahead of the game, probably like 14 points ahead, or just like something where they can just keep running the ball the entire game.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust Bortles. I don't trust Bortles. Even if that Patriots defense isn't as, I wouldn't say it's as solid as that Steelers defense, but they can definitely kind of cause some trouble. So, but you know what? I'm just gonna pull that underdog because I feel like going with the underdog and we'll just go with the Jaguars winning it 24-20.
Wow. All right. Wazatov, who you got? Jags, Pats.
Oh man, let's kind of took my spotlight. I thought I was going to get one guy. But I have to hop on the portal here and go with Jags. No bias towards the city that I reside in. Granted, I hear the radio nonstop talking about the Jags and all these scenarios and how they can beat these teams. The Steelers last week, and then now they're talking about the Patriots, what they can do. So, and then I think that they have a formula that obviously that we've seen. They can rush with their defensive line. They can get pressure on the quarterback. They can get to Brady. They can run the ball. They can control time. They can control and manage the clock and keep that offense off the field, I think, long enough. If Bortles can put together a game like he put together last week, just no picks. I think they got a better than a puncher's chance at beating the Patriots. They got the confidence. I don't think that they're gonna be deer in the headlights in Foxborough. I think that, especially with Jalen Ramsey coming out there already declaring that they're gonna win.
Yeah.
They got a lot of confidence, man. They're not scared. They're definitely not scared. They got nothing to lose. All the pressure is on New England right now.
Yeah.
There's no pressure whatsoever on the Jags, and all of the everything on New England. If New England loses this game, it's defending champions lose to Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
That will probably be the biggest upset I can remember in recent football history, in recent NFL history.
Right.
I can't remember much.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of leaning towards the Jags. I don't know. It's just, I've got this weird feeling. But I mean, the one key I think is Gronkowski. He's very unmatchable for a lot of teams. And I'm looking at it like I think they're gonna leave. They're gonna leave probably Miles Jack on him. Miles Jack covers most of the tight ends on the opposing teams. I think they're gonna leave the corners to Hogan and Cook.
Yeah, and Amendola. Yeah.
I think they're gonna leave. I think they're gonna have Miles Jack on Gronk a lot. And Miles Jack, so he's an athletic linebacker. He's not a small guy. He's 44. He can run. I don't know if he can hang with Gronk like in terms of like the height disadvantage. I think he's like 6'1". But that's the thing. That's the thing that's gonna happen. Brady's gonna have to take advantage of that mismatch at tight end, and then the screens and the short passes to like Deion Lewis and Burkhead, and that's what's going to be key for the Patriots to be successful against this defense. But I think the Jags are going to win. I'm going to go with Jacksonville in this game. I'm going to go Jacksonville 26 to 20.
All right, son, what do the Jags have to do to win, and what is the key to victory for the Patriots? You're up.
I'm going to say for the Jags, their defense has got to put pressure on Brady. They got to go in there and hit maybe the same way he was hitting the Super Bowl in that first half. They're going there and put no touchdown each time, and they were going to have to just pick them apart. It's going to be a bad day. The England, if they got to come in the win, they just got to put it together and go in there and play confidence the same way. Like, hey, this ain't that first rodeo. We've been here before. Don't let these young boys come in here and show out on us. That's all they got to do is remain confident and go in there and handle it. New England been there. Because, hey, how many Super Bowls have they been in 2 straight?
Wow. Yeah.
They're doing something, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
The underdog in me, I'm calling the Jags to win 26-21.
Wow. All right. Ben, who you got? Jags, Pats.
I'm going with the Patriots, but there's something weird. Like, I seen Vegas open this game up as like a pick.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to understand, like, how does the Patriots, I think they were a 13.5-point favorite over the Titans last week. And how like, why is Vegas, why is it like a pick them against Jacksonville on the road? Like, it's essentially what they're telling me is like Jacksonville's better than New England. Like overall, even it's like, and it's just strange. But I've seen like it's up to like 9. Like, after bettors have made their bets and stuff. It's up to 9. It's kind of strange, so I'm trying to figure out why it's a pick 'em, but I'm also trying to ignore the whole thing because I'm thinking it's Belichick, it's Patricia, it's Josh McDaniels. The coaching is better than Jacksonville. I believe New England has got a better cast than what Jacksonville has to offer. I understand Jacksonville's defense is really good, and there's a few things about Jacksonville that's kind of scary for New England. I mean, you got Tom Coughlin, kind of pretty much like the Steve Bannon of Jacksonville, kind of behind the scenes. And he's always, giving New England problems, but I don't know if you got that type of cast to really beat New England. When he was with the Giants, obviously his defense was really good. Michael Strahan, Umanura,
Justin Tuck, and they had a good secondary. So yeah.
He had a really good quarter, Eli Manning. But this is. I'm just not a believer in Blake Bortles, and I understand the pieces there, but I'm just not. I'm not totally sold. I think Belichick. I think Belichick's smart. I think he's the smartest coach ever. I think he knows what he's going up against, even with the whole Tom Coughlin being behind Jacksonville. I think they know what they're getting themselves into. I think they're going to be prepared. It's not going to be the Super Bowl where they weren't really prepared for the Giants, giving them fits. Although they should have been because they played them. Was it when they went undefeated at one?
Yeah, 2008.
Them again in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But it's a Saban Belichick thing. I just think Belichick's going to be prepared. I don't know if it's going to be a blowout. I'm not going to say New England's going to blow out Jacksonville, but I could see 24-14, 27-14, New England winning. And Blake Bortles, it's not like he really did anything against Pittsburgh. I think they're going to make him try to make some throws. Jacksonville, I'm not really sure about their Marquise Lee. They don't really have anybody that'll scare you on all the other than Leonard Fournette. I think Belichick's smart enough to know to try to contain him as much as he can. I'm not thinking that he's going to totally shut down Leonard Fournette. I think Leonard Fournette's going to get his numbers, but I think it's going to be enough to where he doesn't. He's not going to pop off for 3 touchdowns against the Steelers or anything like that. So I'm going with New England on this one. As much as Vegas is trying to scare me, I'm trying to just think of it just logically. I'm trying to dumb it down as much as I can, and I just think New England is just a better team. So I'm gonna go with them.
All right, we got three Jags and 2 Pats. All right, now we move over to the NFC side. This is weird, even when I say it. No matter how I say it, it always sounds weird to me. Case Keenum versus Nick Foles? I literally had to wake myself up out of my sleep and slap myself and say, is this really happening? Yes, we have an NFC Championship with Nick Foles and Case Keenum, 2 backup quarterbacks. I don't really know what to say, but here's the thing. They have made but the thing is, what they have done so far it's worked a lot. It really has worked. Because they are taking 2 backup quarterbacks. The thing is, right now, could you really ask for 2 better backup quarterbacks right now than Nick Foles and Case Keenum? I would say at this point in the season, absolutely not. You can really ask for 2 better backup quarterbacks because they are taking the weapons that Nick Foles and Teddy Bridgewater and Sam Bradford had and making do with them. Hell, they might even be making better use of them than them. They're putting up pretty damn good numbers. Now, this game is probably going to be the opposite of the New England and Jags game. I think this game is kind of going to be more of a shootout. The thing is, it might be like a mid-scoring shootout. It might be like one of those 21-27 type of games, one of those 24-31 or 24-27 type of games. It might be close. but we'll see. But if you ask who I think has the better shot, it would be. I'm actually slightly leaning more towards Philadelphia in this game. Don't quote me on this. Yeah, don't quote me on this because, like I said, I've been wrong before. But the last time I picked against Philly, I was wrong. And the thing is, I believe I trust in Philly a little bit more than I trust in Case Keenum and the Vikings. So in this game, give me the Eagles 21. Now, give me the Eagles 27-21 over the Vikings. Flip, who you got?
You say it's a shootout. I said it's a blowout, man.
Oh wow! Really?
The Eagles.
Wow! Wow! All right, go ahead. Elaborate. Go ahead. Speak on it.
Nick Foles he's alright, but I mean, there's some James that
he's not.
Their whole line is already in shambles. I mean, they still got Lane Johnson and older Kelsey, but it's Nick Foles, man. He's not like a mobile quarterback. He can't get out that pocket. Alshon Jeffrey, he's a good receiver player. Like when they're in like the middle of the field, he's non-consistent. Like I don't know, man. It feels like Foles is throwing to Torrey Smith. He's throwing Torrey Smith way too much.
Because he's familiar with him. That's why.
Oh yeah, but he don't catch the ball. He drops the ball every time. It's kind of ridiculous. But I mean, you got Nelson Aguilar and Zach Ertz, but I mean, I don't know, man. Their defense is way too solid for Nick Foles of all people to surprise in the other. I mean, look, it was Drew Brees. That's why we were kind of like, okay, you see why Drew Brees, moving against him because of Drew Brees. He had Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram in his backfield as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, you look at the Eagles. They got Jay Ajayi and Garrett Warren. It isn't bad, but I mean, they're not like some like star playmakers. And then you got Nick Foles. So I mean, that offense is mediocre. Their defense has like their bright spots. I mean, they could stop Case Keenum for a while, but I feel like after a while they're just gonna tire out, and the Vikings are just gonna blow ahead of them. So I got Vikings winning it 35-17.
Jesus. All right. What's the top? Who you got? Vikings, Eagles.
All right. So again, I will have to agree with Flip here. I don't think it's going to almost. I think it's going to be a blowout. But I think it's very, very simple. If you look at it, it's very. I don't know how you could pick against the Vikings. I mean, I like Case Keenum has been pretty solid throughout the season. I trust him a lot more than I trust Foles. That defense, top to bottom, I like more than Philadelphia. Philadelphia's defense has been good, no question, this postseason. And, again, the last couple games of the regular season. But still, top to bottom, I like Minnesota more. And the thing is, you're basically going to have to depend on Nick Foles to make plays because the Eagles aren't going to be running on that defense. Minnesota, they're not going to. So you're depending on Jeffrey, Ertz, Smith, Aguilar. You're depending on that and Foles to make plays. I don't know if he's going to make plays against Xavier zeros in that secondary.
Yeah.
So, and plus, you know what I mean. I think Minnesota right now with that crazy play at the end of the game. I think there's a little bit of like divine intervention that work here. I think there's a little bit of people don't like to think that God intervenes in sporting events.
Oh,
a little bit of like magic. A little bit of magic with this team, especially with the Super Bowl being in Minnesota. So it's almost fitting that this team can make it to the Super Bowl, especially after that crazy miracle play at the end. So I'm not gonna bet against God. I'm not gonna do this. So I think Minnesota. I think Minnesota's gonna take the cake here. I'm all for Case Keenum leading them to the Super Bowl. not to take anything away from Nick Foles, who's got a tough spot coming in late for Carson Wentz. But his season ends here. Minnesota wins this game, 28 to 20.
All right, son, who you got? Vikings or Eagles?
It's cold in Minnesota. Minnesota, gotta be like you said, like the running game has a show up, and you're not gonna be able to run the ball on the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
They hit too hard. Their defense comes to play, and they come in, and they can afford to put the 8 in the box. Like you said, they don't have no big set that percentage. You got a fourth fold, and those weak receivers make plays. And once they do that, it's over. They get put downhill. Because Philly's defense, they're not going to be able to keep them wide receivers out there. They can't. Even from me, they'll put numbers up on Philly. If they give the opportunity, they'll put numbers up. So I'm going with Minnesota. 35 to 4. Because I don't see folks putting up many points.
Wow. All right. Ben, who you got? Vikings or Eagles?
I'm going against everybody. I'm going to go with the Eagles. I think I just talked myself into it while listening to everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and bet against God on this one. It's something I saw at the end of that game with that the Eagles were running the RP, run pass option. And I don't know, something about it, Foles got real comfortable at the end of the game. I think it's going to cause some problems with the Vikings. Their secondary is a little bit overrated. Like Waynes, I know he gives up like a whole lot of penalties. Like he's a good defender, but he's sketchy. I think I don't know. I see Aguilar, I see Ertz, I see those guys kind of doing whatever they want, really.
Yeah.
I'm saying Minnesota's pass rush getting to Foles.
Xavier Rose might shut him down. Xavier Rose might be a shutdown though.
Yeah, but the Eagles defense stepped up too. I think they can cause Keenum some problems too. I mean, I understand Minnesota. I trust Minnesota's defense more than Philadelphia.
But what do they do? Like on their receivers, what do they do? Do they play bump and run, or do they play cover?
Who are you saying, the Eagles or the Vikings?
If you're the Eagles going up against if you're the Eagles going up against the Vikings offense, the Eagles defense going up against the Vikings offense, do you play bump and run, or do you go for the blitz, or do you cover? I think you might go for the. If I was them, I might go for the blitz because Case Keenum has not been sacked a lot, and the thing is, I think that might be something that they want to try.
All I'm saying is, I don't think the Vikings were. I mean, well, I can't really say that. Adam Thielen and Stephen Diggs. Like, I mean, yeah, they're really, really good. I was going to say they're not really causing problems, but they might. But I think you just go after them, to be honest. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, a team like Pittsburgh is something like it's dangerous to do. You wouldn't do that, but against the Vikings, why not? You know, like I'm not threatened by Case Keenum. I wouldn't be. You know, I don't know who the coordinator is for the Eagles, the defensive coordinator, but I'm sure he's not really threatened. The Eagles have a pretty good defense too. I know you guys was like joking or whatnot about curses or something about.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no team has hosted their Super Bowl on their field. That's another reason why I'm going with the Eagles too. It's just because of that. I think Minnesota, what they've done is special, but to be honest, they really should have lost that game last week. they should have lost that game last. I mean, they were ahead. They shouldn't have gave us that lead, but they got lucky at the end. And I don't know if the emotions. I don't know if they will have gotten over that. You know, it's a quick turnaround, really. I mean, it's you know, after that, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna like just deflate from that whole experience. You know, like kind of got lucky off a fluke throw. Not even a fluke throw, but just fluke bad coverage, pretty much.
Yeah.
To win the game. So, yeah, I think they're still gonna be riding off of that. I think the Eagles. And as much as, and at first, before we even talked about this game, I wanted to go full Minnesota because I just, you know, I just wasn't sure, you know, about Foles. I wasn't really sure, but I didn't even think Philadelphia was going to beat Atlanta last week. I figured Atlanta was going to go into Philadelphia and beat those guys pretty comfortably, but you know, it didn't work out. But I'm coming around to Philadelphia, man, and I don't even really like the Eagles. I kind of like to make fun of Eagles fans.
Yeah.
But not as much as I do Steelers fans. I'm coming around with Philadelphia, man. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I think somehow they're going to pull it out. It's going to be close. It's going to be, I'm willing to bet. I like to say like 17-14, something like that.
Wow, all right.
But I don't know how they're going to do it, but I think they're going to cause enough hits on Minnesota's, like, the defense. I mean, as great as the coach is, Mike Zimmer is on defense. I don't know. I think Doug Peterson, he's the head coach. Like they went to that RPO, and I think it's gonna cause some problems, man. I think they got the run game going a little bit at the end of that Atlanta game. Then, you know, they kind of stretched the field a little bit off of that too. You know, they just caused Atlanta some problems at the end. I think it's, you know, they can Minnesota's gonna have a little bit of trouble with it. I think that's just how I'm seeing it now. So I don't know. That's just an instinct. I'm gonna go with Philadelphia to win.
All right.
So I'm thinking, yeah, Patriots, Eagles.
All right. Yeah, like I said, I think it's going to be a Super Bowl, a 2004 Super Bowl rematch between the Patriots and the Eagles. But as you know, as like with everything, only time will tell. But those are predictions, fellas. Y'all got any final thoughts before we sign out tonight?
Yeah, I got one.
All right.
Do we really think the NFL will let there be a Jaguars versus Vikings or Jaguars versus Eagles Super Bowl?
Hell yeah, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because it's actually something new, because people are tired of seeing the same 3 or 4 teams in the Super Bowl every year.
It's new for people watch.
It's new. I think it'll turn more people on.
I don't know if I'd watch that, to be honest.
Yeah, because like I said, Case Keenum and Blake Bortles, those are not.
That's two mediocre quarterbacks.
Yeah, I know.
Those aren't sexy teams at all. Case Keenum and Blake Bortles.
And look, I actually want to see that because them two defenses and them wide receivers and them corners, they can bring so much flavor to that game. There's gonna be so much going on that that's gonna be an exciting game.
Right.
Now, seeing the Patriots and nobody will watch the Patriots no more in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. At least for like,
I don't think nobody's gonna tune in to that.
I don't. At least not for the next 10 years.
I think they're
Watch just to see if Brady can get to that next ring.
Yeah.
The last time you see Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, because I mean, Patricia's leaving, McDaniels is leaving. I mean, it's hard to win 3 Super Bowls. You know, like no one's ever done it. I mean, back to back, I think is as good as it gets. Maybe Tom Brady and Bill Belichick last run together if they do happen to get there and win it.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, no, I think their first take is over. I think this weekend is their last hurrah.
Yeah.
I think that's how they're gonna go out. I think they're gonna go out. It's gonna be their last hurrah this weekend, and everybody's gonna be talking about what should have happened or what could have happened. Just so that play didn't happen like something.
Right.
I think that's how that's going on.
Yeah.
I
Well,
hope not, because I know Steeler Nation. I know they don't want New England to win, but that's the reason why I want them to win so bad.
oh hell no. Because we want to hold that 6 ring shit over people's heads for as long as we possibly can.
No, see, that's the reason why I want it there. That's why I want New England to get.
But see, the thing is, even as a Steelers fan, now I'm a Steelers fan, and I'll admit that we can't hold that 6 rings thing over people's heads forever. Because guess what? Time goes on, things change. We can have 6 rings. I mean, if Pittsburgh having 6 rings, that's fine. But guess what? Other teams are going to start to catch up as time goes on. Because now the NFL is all about, well, what have you done for me lately? Example, that's why people hate Cowboys fans. Well, the Cowboys were the most dominant team in the 1990s. What have you done for me lately? The Pittsburgh Steelers got 6 championship rings. What have you done for me lately? The New England Patriots are 2 back-to-back. What have you done for me lately? The NFL is all about what the hell have you done lately. Nobody cares what you did 10 years ago, 5 years ago. People don't even give a damn what you did 2 years ago. It's all about what have you done for me lately.
The only organization that cares what you did like years ago is the Raiders with John Gruden.
Oh yeah. And let me tell y'all something about John Gruden. Let me tell y'all something about John Gruden going back to the Raiders right quick. I'm gonna tell y'all this, and y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm telling the truth. With John Gruden leading the helm at the Raiders are either gonna go 0-16 or 16-0. It ain't no in between. I'm telling y'all that right now. Watch next season. Watch.
Well, I was going to say, if Brady and Belichick are gone, they could be the next team that'll step up. I mean, it's really,
yeah.
I think New England's going to be on the decline. Still got Pittsburgh. If they keep the cast, John Gruden, he's already got a cast as it is. I mean, those could be the next 2 teams that, you know.
I'm going with
Yeah.
I think them 2 teams need to watch out for.
Yeah.
Ravens, I think it's too much. It's too much offensive turnover for them to put together. Like there's a lot of stuff out there in that second stuff, but until they figure out they actually stick with how the team will be ranked, who's gonna do what is going on.
Yeah.
They're gonna be a playoff. They're gonna get in and all stuff.
Yeah, but the NFL is going to look different. The NFL is going to look different in 5 years. I mean, let's think about it. Drew Brees is going to be gone in 2 years. Brady's going to be gone in 2 years. Ben Roethlisberger is going to be gone in 2 years. In anywhere from 2 to 5 years. Now, I'll give Aaron Rodgers. Let's give Aaron Rodgers 4 more years. Eli, he's going to be gone. Let's see, who else is going to be? Yeah, Eli, he might already be gone. Phillip Rivers, he's going to be going. Let's see, because like it's all going to be young guys like Derek Carr and Deshaun Watson and let's see, Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz. These are going to be the next guys who are stepping up when the Ben Roethlisbergers and the Drew Brees are gone. Yeah.
Somebody's going to have to worry about in the first year.
Right.
Like,
well, that's just like the cycle, you know, when Montana and Marino and all those guys left, you know, everybody was wondering, like, who's going to be the next people. Well, it's the same thing with this. I mean, when Brady and those guys are gone, the other guys are going to have to step up their game, and, you know, they'll be at their prime too. I don't know if
yeah, exactly. And I was actually going to save this. I was actually going to save this right here for the NBA podcast coming up in a couple of weeks. I was like, well, the thing is, a lot of y'all might disagree, but I was like, well, the only reason why LeBron James can shine right now is just because Kobe Bryant and his prime ain't there no more. But that's a whole other topic.
LeBron was already, and I love Kobe. Kobe's like everything to me, but LeBron had already surpassed Kobe.
Like I said, that's a whole nother topic right there. I mean, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If it wasn't for injuries right now, Kobe would probably be the best player. Like he would be better than LeBron. Because think about it. Look at LeBron. LeBron's been in the league since 2003, and he's had no major injuries. Guess how many major injuries Kobe Bryant has had? He's had 5 major injuries. Torn ligaments in his knee, torn ligaments in his ankle, broken wrist, broken shoulder, torn rotator cuff. LeBron ain't had none of that. So Kobe has had more to suffer through than him. So of course he's gonna put up better stats.
Man, I got two young players right now that be I know say three. It's 3 young players right now that be on the heels every time they on the floor. And that's Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
And Butler.
Right.
And they give LeBron every time they on the floor.
Yeah.
You said Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, Kevin Durant. I think he might be the best player on the Warriors right now.
He might be.
Definitely the best. Durant, he still got the cover. He cupcake to me. Like,
I mean, you can say he's soft all you want. He's probably one of the better shooters. And a lot of people was hating on me when I said this. I was like, well, is it a reach to say that Klay Thompson is a better shooter than Steph Curry is? Because I believe so in certain situations.
I feel like they're closer than people give them.
Yeah, but it's just that Steph Curry gets all the attention and gets all the shine, and Klay Thompson gets overlooked, and we know why.
But
playing game basketball.
Yeah.
He plays simple basketball.
I mean, yeah.
Nobody want to see the highlights. You want to see top 10. And when that's what you get when you compare, you top 10. And Durant and Scott, they play basic basketball. Get the bucket, get to the line, get the easy point.
Did anybody see Durant go at Brian King James yesterday?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I seen that. Mm-hmm.
yeah, LeBron was looking kind of soft in the late.
I'm gonna tell you how bad it is. It's so bad right now that Russell Westbrook can run LeBron over. Well, matter of fact, scratch that, because Russell Westbrook can run damn near anybody over right now.
Yeah, that's Brody. I mean,
Yeah.
Brody's that dude.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this to the show because we've been on here for an hour and a half now. But yeah. This like I said, the NBA podcast is coming like literally after the Super Bowl. But thank you guys for tuning in. Son, Wazatov, Flip, thank y'all guys for helping me host the show, and I appreciate it. Hopefully, I'll see y'all back next week.
For sure. Yeah,
All right. Thank you guys, and I'll be back next week. Peace out.
See you later. Stand up.